Have you ever opened your laptop, stared at the screen, and felt nothing? No spark, no pull, just a heavy, grey fog sitting on your chest, turning the day into a list of chores you can barely drag yourself through. If you've felt that, if you've hit the wall and slid down, this is for you. Burnout doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. It whispers, why bother? It whispers, finish the task. Don't feel anything. And in that quiet surrender, your life begins to feel like an assembly line of obligations. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You might be empty, starving for meaning. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist who survived the camps and wrote about the human search for meaning, saw this emptiness again and again. He called it the existential vacuum. Not a dramatic void, but a subtle loss of purpose that makes everything feel flat. When your why evaporates, your how becomes torture. Work turns into grinding. Rest doesn't restore you. Even fun feels like a task. Frankl's promise is bold. The cure for burnout is not less effort. It's a different aim. Your life doesn't need more energy. It needs meaning, something worth spending your energy on. So let's talk about why burnout hits, how Frankl would decode it, and what to do tonight, tomorrow morning, and next week to turn the spiral around. First, a hard truth wrapped in compassion. You can't outrun burnout by doing the same things faster. Speed doesn't fix direction, and that's what Frankl gives us: direction. He believed meaning appears in three pathways: in what we create, in what we experience or love, and in the attitude we take towards suffering. Think of them as three doors. When one door slams shut, say, your work feels soulless, you still have two more. When life gets hard and your freedom shrinks, you can still choose your attitude. You can still choose how to show up. But how did we get here? This specific kind of exhaustion that makes everything feel thin. Modern burnout is often a meaning problem disguised as a time problem. We chase metrics, cleared, tasks checked, numbers hit because they're measurable. But metrics without meaning become cages. When you're praised for output but starved of purpose, your nervous system turns survival mode into your default. You wake up already braced for an attack. That's not life. That's a siege. Frankl would say, your soul is not a machine. It's a homing device. It searches for fullness. What is this activity for? Who benefits? Why does it matter? When you can't answer that, meaning bleeds out of your day. So let's do something simple right now. Picture one person your work helps directly or indirectly: a client, a colleague, a family member who depends on your paycheck. If your job feels pointless, borrow meaning from the humans who touch your effort. Meaning is relational. It flows where love flows. But what if your work truly feels hollow? What if it's a paycheck with no heartbeat? Frankl wouldn't shame you. He'd offer a second door: experiential meaning. Flood your life with the good you can absorb and protect: beauty, friendship, or take a slow walk at dusk and actually look at the sky that billions of eyes have sought for comfort. Call your grandmother and ask for a story. Cook something you've never tried. Not as escapism, this matters. Beauty and love feed meaning like rain feeds roots. Burnout is often dry soil. There's a third door too, and it's the hardest, but also the most powerful: attitudinal, meaning, finding purpose in how you carry pain. You can take your stress and make it a task. I'll bear this with dignity today. I'll keep kindness alive under pressure. I'll be the one who breathes. It sounds small, but it reshapes your inner posture. It gives you back the one freedom no one can take. The freedom to choose your stance. Okay, ideas are nice, but you need moves. Frankl gave us tools, deceptively simple, quietly radical. First tool, dereflection. When you're trapped in self-monitoring, am I productive enough? Am I doing this right? Am I failing? Your attention becomes a mirror that burns you. Dereflection says, turn the mirror into a window. Stop looking at yourself and look toward a task, a person, a cause. Ask, what needs me right now? Then put your hands to it even for 10 minutes. The self straightens itself when it serves. Second tool, paradoxical intention. It's counterintuitive. If fear of failing paralyzes you, try gently, humorfully to exaggerate what you fear. Today, I'll write the worst first draft ever. I'll try to be awkward on purpose in this meeting. You relax the grip of fear by playing with it. The tension drops, and performance often rises. Third tool, the 3-door check-in. Morning and night ask, what can I create today? What will I truly experience or love today? And if suffering shows up, what attitude will I bring to it? That tiny ritual brings meaning back into the room. But let's go deeper. Burnout doesn't only come from overwork. It also comes from value conflict working against your conscience. If your job demands you say things you don't believe or treat people as numbers, your spirit rebels. Frankl would never ask you to betray yourself. He'd invite courage, small steps toward alignment. Could you say one true sentence at work today? Could you protect one person from unfairness? Could you start exploring a path that respects your values more? Change doesn't have to be dramatic to be meaningful. Little acts of integrity repair the inner tear. And some of you were burnt out, not by a job, but by life caregiving, illness, grief, constant uncertainty. For you, the third door is everything. Attitude is not a sugary smile. It's the quiet decision to carry pain with honor. To ask, what kind of person do I want to be in this storm? Even if nothing changes outside, something changes inside. That's not a slogan, it's survival. Let me offer you a picture. Imagine your day as a dark corridor. At one end, a door marked results. At the other, a door marked meaning. Most of us keep sprinting toward results. We get applause, briefly, and then we're empty again. But when you walk toward meaning, results often follow slowly, sturdily, but you don't live and die by them. You're carried by something deeper. That's the shift that ends burnout. Let's practice it for real. Try this rescue one thing ritual. Each morning, rescue one thing from the day and dedicate it. I will answer 3 emails with real kindness. I will make dinner and eat without my phone. I will take my child to the park and actually watch his face when he laughs. When you dedicate, you infuse meaning into a simple act. You plant a flag. Your brain stops seeing a blur and starts seeing moments that matter. Another practice, trade metrics for moments. Instead of I must finish the whole project, make one meaningful unit, one brutal first draft, one honest conversation, one walk where I let the mind settle. The human mind responds to completion. Give it small wins that matter. And we need to talk about rest. Burnout doesn't heal with passive escape alone. Binging shows or scrolling can numb you, but they rarely feed you. Frankl's rest is active, reconnecting to what dignifies you. A book that wakes your mind, a craft that uses your hands, music that breaks you open a little. Rest should return you to yourself. If it doesn't, it's probably sedation. Now, let's address the fear that keeps many of us in burnout. If I slow down, everything will collapse. Listen, slowing down is not stopping. Slowing down is choosing what deserves your full speed. Frankl would remind you, your worth is not your output, It's your orientation toward truth, toward love, toward responsibility. You are more than a report or a revenue line. You're a person entrusted with a life. One more thing that sounds simple but changes everything. A why sentence. Complete this line. I'm willing to suffer a little today, fulfill it honestly, for the kids, for finishing this book, for keeping my promise, for becoming the kind of person I respect. Write it on a sticky note. Put it where your eyes land. When your mind spirals, return to the sentence. Pain becomes bearable when it serves a purpose. That's not romantic. It's biology aligned with meaning. Mid-shift check-in. How's your breath right now? Shoulders up by your ears. Let them drop. Inhale slowly. Hold. Exhale longer than you inhaled. Again, feel your spine. Feel the chair. You're here. Not yesterday. Not tomorrow. Here. This moment is the only place meaning can be added to your life. Not in theory. In action. Quick story maybe, it's your story. I spoke with someone who left a big job after years of burnout. They thought quitting would cure everything. For a week, it did. Then the emptiness followed them home. Why? Because their life was still organized around performance. They'd lost the muscle of serving something beyond themselves. What healed them wasn't quitting. It was choosing. Choosing a person to care for each day. Choosing a task to own. Choosing an attitude when anxiety hit. The job change helped, but the meaning work saved them. At this point, I want to pause and ask you something. What's one small act of service you could commit to this week that would pull you beyond metrics and back toward meaning? Tell me in the comments. I read them. And if this kind of grounded, Frankl-inspired guidance helps, consider subscribing so we can keep walking this road together. Let's get practical today, tomorrow, and beyond. Tonight, before bed, write down 3 things. 1. A person you'll notice and care for tomorrow by listening, by making something easier, by sending a real message, not just a thumbs up. 2. One creative task you'll move forward, humble progress, not perfection. 3. The attitude you'll practice. If the day punches you, I will meet frustration with patience, or I will speak truth calmly, or simply, I will keep breathing. Place the note where you'll see it in the morning. Tomorrow morning, do the smallest meaningful thing first. Not the quick dopamine hit, not the easiest check mark. The smallest meaningful thing. 5 minutes of writing. 10 mindful emails where your care shows. A sincere apology you've delayed. This trains your brain, meaning first, momentum second. If anxiety spikes as you start, try paradoxical intention. Whisper, let's see how messy I can make this first draft. Smile at your fear. Give it a seat, but not the steering wheel. You'll be surprised how often the grip loosens. In the afternoon slump, practice dereflection. Ask, who needs me right now? Get out of your head by getting into service. Make tea for a coworker. Check on a friend. Water a plant like it matters. Yes, that sounds small, but serving is a gear shift. It changes the engine of your day. End of day, count meaning, not just output. Ask, where did I create? Where did I truly experience or love? Where did I choose my attitude? The wins might be tiny, but they're real. The mind repeats what it rewards. Reward meaning. There's a deeper layer too. Burnout thins your identity. You forget who you are beyond tasks. Frankl would ask, who are you responsible to? Not in a heavy way, but in an orienting way. Maybe it's your child. Maybe it's the friend who believes in you. Maybe it's your future self, 5 years older, watching who you become. Responsibility, in Frankl's sense, is not a burden. It's a lifeline, something to hold when the current pulls. And if you feel alone in this, remember, millions wake up with the same grey weight. You are not uniquely broken. You are human, trying to keep your candle lit in a windy world. Meaning is the glass that shields the flame. Let me offer you one more image to carry into the week. A violin string can't make music if it's loose, but it also can't make music if it's wound so tight it breaks. Burnout is the snapped string. Emptiness is the loose one, meaning tunes you. It sets the right tension, enough pull to sing, not enough to tear. That tuning is daily work. That's your task. So if you're burned out and numb, here's your next right step. Choose one door. Create one thing, no matter how small. Truly experience one thing and let it touch you. Or, if pain is all you can see, choose your attitude and carry it with dignity. Do one of these today. Do it with your whole heart. Then do it again tomorrow. Frankl survived the ugliest version of human suffering and came back with a message. You are freer than you think, even here, even now. Not because life is easy, but because meaning is available. In work that serves, in love that stays, and in courage that quietly refuses to let suffering tell the final story. Breathe. Put your hand on your chest. Feel that steady drum. That's your life asking for a purpose worthy of it. Give it one. Not a perfect one, a true one. And when the fog returns us, it sometimes will you know what to ask. What can I create? What will I fully experience or love? And if I must suffer, who will I become while I carry it? That's how you end the burnout spiral. Not by going faster, by turning toward meaning, step by step, until your days start singing again.